So what's your biggest takeaway? They got bigger pizzas.
Yeah. My takeaway from them is very similar to yours. I just don't feel that there's a scarcity mindset over there for comparatively to here. I think too many people are more reserved and they don't celebrate wins as much here.
Yeah, I feel like their whole thing is like, this is a place where your dreams come true.
Yeah, and that's great.
And
it's like if you go buy...
They're happy for you about it.
Yeah, perfect example. It's like if you go buy a Lambo... I was speaking to my brother-in-law about this the other day. One of his friends wanted to buy the Urus, the Lamborghini. And he jumped in it. He goes, yeah, I'm going to go buy it. And my brother was like, man, don't do it. He goes, oh, fuck. He goes, the image you're going to portray by having that is going to be detrimental to you, your business, your brand. He goes, don't buy that car. I get it's cool. I get it's this, but he goes, it's not going to be great for you. Whereas in the States, you would buy that car and someone would be like, wow, like, man, what did you do to get that car? That's amazing. Tell me the story. Like that, good on you for doing that. Well done for taking a risk. Well done. And I feel that they celebrate that aspect a little more. It's not seen as you're an arsehole, you're whatever it might be, drug dealer, you're a fucking crook, you're making money off the back of poor people. Like it's not seen like that here.
That's an Australian thing.
That's what I mean. So, but to see that firsthand was different because we're not exposed to that. You get a lot of people who celebrate. Like how many people, when we went to events, they say, oh, what do you do with yourself? Like, oh, we'll do this and this. Oh, man, that's amazing. Well done. Congrats. Like, it's great that you're doing that. And you've come all the way here to invest in your business. And like there was that aspect, which I found quite interesting. There was one other thing which I spoke about on my socials. This was more of a personal thing, not necessarily something that I learned at America. When we were there, we drove some supercars. So Aston, Ferrari, Lamborghini, and one more Porsche. So the GT3. And
what was your favorite?
The Lamborghini, the Huracan.
Yeah,
I like that. The favorite. That was my favorite out of all four of them. Aston was really nice, but yeah, that one overall, I thought that was really nice.
The Lamborghini and the Ferrari were a different level of car.
They were, yeah, the they were correct. I agree. But I didn't love the Ferrari. Funny.
I really liked it.
Yeah, I remember you said you did. But I just thought from a perspective of if I was going to have this as a daily drive, I didn't like the interior as much. It was only a 2-year car. I know. I was like, that's why I'm saying as an overall package, the Lambo did it for me.
Yeah, maybe.
Anyway, so what I got the most out of that experience was we got to do 26 odd laps with these cars. I had an instructor. It was a lot of fun doing 200K down the straight. So it was fun. And what I realized was, I love my cars, just to clarify. I love cars. I've always wanted to have a garage full of cars. And, in your mind, you build it up to be this super amazing thing to have these cars one day. What a dream that will be. When I get that car, I'm going to be complete. I'm going to be so happy. And driving these cars, it just wasn't that big of a deal. I got in them, drove them, had fun, enjoyed it, still appreciated that car. But I realized that when I do eventually get these cars, it's not going to be like oh, wow, now I'm happy. This is amazing. Now I've achieved something great. And I felt that it'll get to that point where it's just going to become another daily drive. It's just going to become the norm that this is what we do now, this is what we have, and it's not going to be something that fulfills me. And I think if you're looking for fulfillment out of objects like that, you'll probably, when you get them, eventually get bored and need something else to fill that gap in your life. So that was interesting for me to do that.
That's everything though?
Yeah, I think that's applicable to a lot of things for sure. And you can even, sorry?
Not everything?
Potentially everything, yeah. I mean, I haven't thought about it in great depth, but it's like, look at your business and where you're at today. Go back 10 years ago.
There was a time,
you would have been like, oh my God, I'm going to turn over that much in 10 years. Are you serious? And whereas now you're like, fuck, okay, is that all I'm making?
Fucking this and that.
Yeah. These get all these problems. What a drainer. Maybe I should go back to when I didn't make that much money. And that was just an interesting thing for me to come to that realization and go, not that I ever thought the car was going to be, make me happy or whatever it is. But I think the hype behind it just clarified that a little bit and goes, okay, cool. This is what's important. I love the journey more than the destination, like getting to it and saying, being in a position where I go put the money down and get the car, it's more symbolic for me going, okay, cool. Well done. Great achievement that I've put myself in a position to be able to get these cars or those homes, those holidays, all that sort of stuff.
So it means less to you now?
It's not that it means less. I still want them. I still want to, and I would still be excited the day I go pick it up, but it was just more a realization.
So I think. What did you realize?
that it's not, probably not as important to me as I once thought. Yeah.
Does that change anything for you?
Not really. I'll still want them. I still want to have these fun things in my life and toys. And as I said, I'm a car enthusiast, so I do enjoy it and I want to buy them. Does it change anything? It might just prioritize a little bit differently.
Yeah.
That's all.
Yeah, okay.
You know, it's like when we said, get the car because it'll push you to pay for the car, you know, because you've got that thing that you got to pay the 10 grand a month to keep it and all this sort of shit. I don't feel I need that push anymore.
So do you want to do the Zagami thing or not?
That's just more for content.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I just want to make the video that goes viral and says, let me show you how I paid for this car in 3 days.
Let me show you how I bought this car and paid for it.
Yeah.
Straight away.
Straight away in 3 days. Because that's just going to be a cool story. That's going to be something cool to do. So here, I've just invested $1 million or $500,000, bought the car, got my 4 tickets to Zagami tent at the Grand Prix. Let me show you how I'm going to pay for this car in one transaction or 2. But yeah, so that was cool to see that, and just a little bit more focus on, well, if we're trying to build these businesses and trying to do some extraordinary things, probably the car's not the route to go down. Maybe invest in the business and do other things. Then there was the offer. When we saw Alex Hormozy, I was actually full disclaimer, I've always followed and liked Grant Cardone for quite a few years. I thought his event was underwhelming.
Yeah.
What did you think?
Yeah.
I'd been to the previous one, and the previous one. So the biggest guest that came on this event was Ryan Reynolds, and he was good.
He's a good guest.
I was a good guest. I enjoyed listening to his story. He's done businesses. It was cool.
There was no one else near that level.
The one that I went to in 2020. Almost every guest was like that. Each day you had at least 2 guests that were as big as him.
Yeah.
And that was the difference. And I was kind of half expecting that. I was waiting for that huge guest to come in, and he was, but then everyone else was like, oh yeah, you know who he is. But
I didn't even know half the people.
Yeah, well, some of them. And then like Eric Trump. Eric Trump's pretty big, I guess.
Yeah, everyone.
He was big, so he was there.
Okay, yeah.
Who was the guy that political guy that goes to the unis?
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but I watch his stuff all the time. I like him.
Charlie Kirk.
That's right, Charlie Kirk. So he was there.
Yeah.
And then there was a few other people that I've seen.
Billionaire oil.
Jimmy, what's it called? Jimmy
Johns.
Jimmy John's, like a franchise that's a billion.
Did you know anything about Jimmy?
Nothing. He was entertaining. Like
he was very good. Yeah, but did you know anything about it?
No,
me either. I've never
not at all.
Even heard.
He was just bringing in people with huge levels of success. Some which were boring.
Like brought in a lot of billionaires.
Yeah, exactly right. The event itself was very political as well. So it was very like everything was about very red. That's the best way to put it. Always referencing back to Fixing California. We actually were sitting at the event thinking he's going to announce that he's running for governor, because this was the last 10X conference he's going to do. We thought he was going to announce he's going to go for governor of California. And we were expecting Elon Musk to come out as a special guest too. None of those things happened on the day, but at the training. But that's how, because he kept seeding Elon Musk. He mentioned him probably at least 5 to 6 times throughout that
At
event.
least. Yeah.
At least. So we were expecting, Elon Musk. And that would have been pretty cool to see that. I'm kind of disappointed it didn't happen. So that was a bit underwhelming, but I'm still glad I went. No issues. I don't regret going to that. It was still it was cool, something to do. It's good to, again, I'm glad for the experience to see the guys selling and going hard, and just watching Scott be uncomfortable the whole time. That was quite entertaining.
That was amazing.
If you like that clip and you want to watch another one, click just over here. And if you want to watch the full episode, click just over here. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and thanks for watching.